Most people hear the word cholesterol during a routine checkup, get told it's a little high, and walk out with a prescription without ever truly understanding what those numbers mean. But if you actually sit with your report for a moment, you realize something important. LDL cholesterol, often called the bad cholesterol, doesn't create sudden symptoms. It doesn't warn you with pain or discomfort. Instead, it builds quietly inside your arteries over years, sometimes decades, while you continue to feel completely normal. That's what makes it dangerous. You can feel fine today and still be moving toward a serious heart problem in the future. Now imagine going back for a blood test just 8 weeks from now and seeing your LDL drop significantly without relying entirely on medication. That kind of improvement is not unrealistic. It happens when you apply consistent, evidence-based lifestyle changes. The key is understanding that not all fats are the enemy. Many people still believe cutting all fat will fix cholesterol, but that idea is outdated. Saturated fats like butter, full-fat dairy, and fatty red meat can increase LDL because they reduce your liver's ability to clear it. On the other hand, healthier fats, like those found in olive oil, fish, walnuts, and seeds, actually help your body remove LDL more efficiently. So instead of removing fat completely, the smarter approach is replacing the harmful types with beneficial ones. Another factor people rarely think about is how they prepare their coffee. It may sound surprising, but unfiltered coffee methods like French press or Turkish coffee contain compounds that can raise LDL levels over time. These compounds interfere with your liver's ability to clear cholesterol. A simple switch to paper-filtered coffee can quietly reduce this effect without changing anything else in your routine. Dietary fiber plays a powerful role as well, especially soluble fiber. When you consume foods like oats, chia seeds, beans, and certain fruits, this type of fiber forms a gel in your digestive system that binds to bile acids. Since bile acids are made from cholesterol, your body is forced to pull more cholesterol from the blood to replace them, which lowers LDL levels naturally. This is not a theory, it's a well-documented physiological process. Even moderate daily intake can create noticeable improvements over time. Shifting your protein sources can also make a difference. Replacing some portions of red meat with plant-based proteins like lentils, beans, nuts, and seeds helps reduce LDL while improving overall heart health. This doesn't mean you have to eliminate meat completely. It simply means making smarter substitutions more often. Physical activity is another critical piece that cannot be ignored. Even modest weight loss, around 5 to 10% of your body weight, can significantly improve your cholesterol profile. Regular exercise not only helps lower LDL, but also improves the quality of cholesterol particles, making them less harmful to your arteries. Simple habits like daily walking and a couple of strength sessions per week can start shifting your metabolism in the right direction. Your gut health also has a role in cholesterol management. A healthy gut microbiome can influence how your body processes bile acids and cholesterol. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and sauerkraut help support beneficial bacteria, which can indirectly contribute to better cholesterol control over time. There's also been a lot of confusion around eggs. For years, eggs were blamed for high cholesterol, but current evidence shows that for most people, eating 1 egg per day has minimal impact on LDL levels. The real issue often lies in what people eat alongside eggs, such as processed meats and excessive saturated fats. It's also important to address supplements, because many people turn to natural options without realizing the risks. Red yeast rice, for example, can lower LDL, but it works similarly to a prescription statin and may come with inconsistent dosing and potential contamination issues. Another example is concentrated green tea extract in capsule form. While drinking green tea is generally safe and beneficial, high-dose extracts have been linked to liver problems in some cases. Natural does not always mean safe, especially when taken in concentrated forms. The most effective approach is not relying on a single change, but combining multiple small habits into a consistent pattern. Diets like the Mediterranean or DASH diet work well because they naturally include healthy fats, fiber, plant proteins, and minimal processed foods all at once. When these strategies work together, the results become much more noticeable. In the end, improving cholesterol is not about perfection. It's about consistency. Small changes repeated daily will show up clearly in your future blood reports. Over time, those steady improvements can significantly reduce your long-term risk and help you build a healthier future without relying solely on medication. When you begin applying these changes consistently, something important starts to happen beneath the surface, long before you ever see your next lab report. Your body begins adjusting its internal balance in ways that are not immediately visible, but are deeply meaningful. Cholesterol management is not just about lowering a number on paper. It is about changing the environment inside your blood vessels so that plaque buildup slows down, stabilizes, and in some cases, even regresses slightly. That process takes time, but it starts much earlier than most people expect. One of the most overlooked aspects of cholesterol health is inflammation. LDL cholesterol by itself is not the full story. The real damage begins when LDL particles become oxidized and trigger an inflammatory response inside the arterial walls. This is what leads to plaque formation and progression. That means your goal is not only to lower LDL, but also to reduce the conditions that make LDL more harmful. Diet plays a major role here. Highly processed foods, excessive sugar, and refined carbohydrates increase inflammation and insulin resistance, both of which worsen cholesterol metabolism. On the other hand, whole foods rich in antioxidants, like vegetables, fruits, nuts, and olive oil, help protect LDL particles from oxidation, making them less damaging even before their levels drop significantly. Sleep is another factor that rarely gets the attention it deserves. Poor sleep quality, or consistently getting less than 6 hours per night, has been linked to worse lipid profiles, higher inflammation, and increased cardiovascular risk. When you are sleep deprived, your body experiences hormonal imbalances that affect appetite, metabolism, and how your liver processes cholesterol. Improving sleep is not complicated, but it does require intention. A consistent sleep schedule, reduced screen exposure before bed, and a calm nighttime routine can gradually improve both sleep quality and metabolic health. Stress management is equally important. Chronic stress increases cortisol levels, and over time, this can negatively impact cholesterol levels and overall heart health. Many people underestimate how much ongoing stress contributes to physical health problems because it does not show up directly in a blood test. However, its effects are very real. Simple practices like regular walking, deep breathing, spending time outdoors, or even short periods of mindfulness can help regulate your stress response and support better overall cardiovascular health. Another important concept to understand is consistency over intensity. Many people start strong, make drastic changes for a couple of weeks, and then slowly fall back into old habits. That pattern rarely produces lasting results. Your body responds better to steady, sustainable habits than extreme short-term efforts. For example, adding fiber daily, choosing healthier fats regularly, and staying active most days of the week will always outperform a strict but temporary diet that you cannot maintain. Hydration also plays a subtle but supportive role. While drinking water alone will not lower your cholesterol dramatically, proper hydration supports overall metabolic function, digestion, and circulation. It helps your body process nutrients more efficiently and maintain balance across multiple systems, including those involved in lipid metabolism. It is also worth discussing alcohol because it often comes up in conversations about heart health. Moderate alcohol consumption, particularly red wine, has been associated with some cardiovascular benefits in certain studies. However, this does not mean you should start drinking for health reasons. Excessive alcohol intake clearly raises triglycerides, contributes to weight gain, and can worsen liver function, all of which negatively affect cholesterol levels. If you already drink, moderation is key. If you do not drink, there is no medical reason to start. As you continue building these habits, you may start noticing small improvements in how you feel. Your energy levels may become more stable. Your digestion may improve. You may find it easier to maintain a healthy weight. These are early indicators that your internal systems are moving in the right direction, even before your cholesterol numbers reflect the full extent of the change. Another important step is tracking your progress. Do not rely only on how you feel. Schedule follow-up blood tests and compare your results over time. Look at your LDL, HDL, triglycerides, and, if possible, ask your doctor about more detailed markers like non-HDL cholesterol or ApoB, which can provide a more accurate picture of cardiovascular risk. Seeing objective improvements can reinforce your motivation and help you stay consistent. It is also important to understand that not everyone responds the same way to lifestyle changes. Genetics play a role in cholesterol levels, and some individuals may need medication in addition to lifestyle improvements. This is not a failure. It is simply a reflection of how complex the human body is. Lifestyle changes still provide significant benefits, even when medication is required, often enhancing its effectiveness and improving overall health outcomes. There is also a psychological aspect to this journey that should not be ignored. Many people feel overwhelmed when they are told to change their diet, exercise more, and improve their lifestyle all at once. The key is to simplify the process. Focus on 1 or 2 changes at a time. Build them into your routine until they feel natural, then gradually add more. This approach reduces resistance and increases the likelihood of long-term success. Planning your meals ahead of time can make a big difference. When you have healthy options readily available, you are less likely to rely on convenience foods that are often high in unhealthy fats and low in fiber. Even simple preparation, like keeping fruits, nuts, and cooked grains accessible, can help you stay on track during busy days. Social environment also matters more than people realize. The people around you influence your habits, whether consciously or unconsciously. If your environment supports unhealthy eating and inactivity, it becomes much harder to maintain positive changes. On the other hand, surrounding yourself with people who value health, or even just having one supportive friend or family member, can make the process much easier. Technology can also be used as a helpful tool. Fitness trackers, mobile apps, and simple reminders can help you stay consistent with your activity levels, hydration, and dietary habits. These tools are not necessary, but they can provide structure and accountability, especially in the early stages of building new routines. As time goes on, these habits begin to feel less like effort and more like part of your identity. You are no longer someone trying to lower cholesterol. You become someone who naturally eats better, moves regularly, and takes care of your health. That shift in identity is what makes changes sustainable in the long term. It is also helpful to periodically reassess your habits and make adjustments. What works for you today may need to evolve over time based on your lifestyle, preferences, and health goals. Flexibility is important. The goal is not perfection, but continuous improvement. Another point worth mentioning is the importance of reading food labels. Many packaged foods marketed as healthy still contain hidden saturated fats, added sugars, or highly processed ingredients that can negatively impact your cholesterol. Becoming more aware of what you are consuming allows you to make more informed choices without relying on marketing claims. Cooking at home more often can significantly improve your dietary quality. It gives you full control over ingredients and cooking methods, allowing you to reduce unhealthy fats and increase nutrient-dense foods. Even basic cooking skills can go a long way in supporting your health goals. As you continue on this path, remember that progress may not always be linear. There will be periods where your numbers plateau or improve more slowly than expected. This is normal. What matters is that you stay consistent and continue reinforcing the habits that support your long-term health. In the bigger picture, managing cholesterol is not just about avoiding disease. It is about improving your quality of life, maintaining your energy, and preserving your ability to stay active and independent as you age. The effort you invest today pays off not just in lab results, but in how you feel and function years from now. By combining smarter nutrition, regular movement, proper sleep, stress control, and informed choices about supplements and habits, you create a powerful system that supports your cardiovascular health from multiple angles. Each small decision adds up, and over time, those decisions shape your future in a very real and measurable way. Stay consistent, stay patient, and keep focusing on the habits that move you forward. Your body responds to what you do repeatedly, and with the right approach, meaningful change is not only possible, it is expected. As you continue applying these changes, it becomes important to understand that cholesterol management is not just about lowering a number, but about stabilizing what is already present inside your arteries. Many people assume the goal is simply to reduce LDL as quickly as possible, but the deeper objective is to make existent plaque less likely to rupture. Because in reality, most heart attacks are not caused by large blockages alone, but by unstable plaques that suddenly break open and trigger clot formation. When you improve your lifestyle, you are not only lowering LDL, you are also making those plaques more stable and less dangerous over time. One of the key drivers behind plaque instability is oxidative stress. This is where your body produces more free radicals than it can neutralize. These free radicals can damage LDL particles, making them more likely to penetrate artery walls and trigger inflammation. This is why antioxidant-rich foods play such a powerful role. Vegetables like spinach, broccoli, and bell peppers, along with fruits like berries and citrus, provide compounds that help reduce oxidative stress. Olive oil, particularly extra virgin olive oil, contains polyphenols that further protect your blood vessels. When these foods become part of your daily routine, they quietly shift your internal environment toward protection rather than damage. At the same time, reducing refined carbohydrates is equally important. Foods high in sugar and processed starches cause spikes in blood glucose and insulin, which over time contribute to insulin resistance. This condition does not just affect blood sugar, it also changes how your body handles fats and cholesterol. It tends to increase triglycerides, lower HDL, and promote the formation of small, dense LDL particles, which are more harmful. By reducing sugary drinks, packaged snacks, and refined flour products, you are indirectly improving your entire lipid profile, not just LDL. Another factor that deserves attention is meal timing and portion control. Constant overeating, even of relatively healthy foods, can still lead to weight gain and metabolic imbalance. Giving your body periods of rest between meals allows insulin levels to stabilize and supports better fat metabolism. This does not require extreme fasting. Even maintaining a consistent eating window and avoiding late-night heavy meals can make a noticeable difference over time. Sunlight exposure and vitamin D levels also play a subtle but meaningful role in overall cardiovascular health. Low vitamin D has been associated with higher cardiovascular risk in multiple studies. While it is not a direct treatment for high cholesterol, maintaining adequate levels supports your immune system, reduces inflammation, and contributes to better overall metabolic health. Regular, safe exposure to sunlight, or supplementation when needed, can help maintain healthy levels. Another point that often gets overlooked is the role of smoking. If you smoke, this is one of the most powerful negative factors affecting your cardiovascular system. Smoking damages the inner lining of your arteries, making it easier for LDL to enter and form plaques. It also reduces HDL, the protective cholesterol, and increases inflammation. Quitting smoking does not just stop further damage, it allows your body to begin repairing itself. Even within months, measurable improvements in vascular function can occur. Now, as you start seeing improvements in your habits, it is important to stay realistic about timelines. Some people expect dramatic changes within a couple of weeks and become discouraged when that does not happen. In reality, meaningful improvements in cholesterol typically appear over a period of 6 to 12 weeks, sometimes longer, depending on the starting point and consistency. This is why patience is critical. You are working with biological systems that adapt gradually, not instantly. Regular follow-up with your healthcare provider is also essential. Do not make changes blindly. Monitor your progress with proper blood tests and discuss your results with a professional who understands your overall health profile. If your LDL remains high despite consistent lifestyle efforts, additional interventions may be necessary. This could include medication, but even in those cases, your lifestyle changes continue to provide significant benefits. There is also increasing interest in advanced lipid testing, which goes beyond the standard cholesterol panel. Tests like ApoB, or LDL particle number, can provide more detailed information about your cardiovascular risk. While not always required, they can be helpful in certain situations, especially if your standard results do not fully explain your risk profile. Discussing these options with your doctor can give you a clearer picture of where you stand. As your routine becomes more structured, it is helpful to create a simple daily framework. For example, starting your day with a fiber-rich breakfast, incorporating movement into your schedule, choosing healthier fats in your meals, and ending the day with lighter, balanced eating. These patterns reduce decision fatigue and make it easier to stay consistent without constantly thinking about what to do next. Travel, social events, and busy schedules will challenge your routine, and that is completely normal. The goal is not to be perfect in every situation, but to return to your habits as quickly as possible after any disruption. One off-plan meal or missed workout does not undo your progress. What matters is the overall pattern across weeks and months. Another powerful concept is habit stacking. Instead of trying to build entirely new routines from scratch, attach new habits to existing ones. For example, adding chia seeds to your usual breakfast, going for a walk after dinner, or drinking green tea during your usual break time. This makes new behaviors easier to adopt because they are linked to actions you are already performing. Mindful eating is another simple but effective practice. Eating slowly, paying attention to hunger and fullness signals, and avoiding distractions during meals can help prevent overeating and improve digestion. This also allows you to enjoy your food more, which makes healthy eating feel less restrictive and more sustainable. It is also worth mentioning that your environment can either support or sabotage your efforts. Keeping unhealthy foods easily accessible increases the likelihood of consuming them, especially during moments of stress or fatigue. On the other hand, having healthy options readily available makes good choices easier. Small changes in your environment, like stocking fruits, nuts, and whole foods, can have a surprisingly large impact. As you move forward, it is important to keep your focus on long-term health rather than short-term results. Lowering cholesterol is not just about avoiding disease, it is about preserving your quality of life. It is about being able to stay active, maintain your independence, and reduce the risk of serious health events in the future. There may also be moments where motivation drops. This is completely normal. Motivation is not something you can rely on every day. What carries you through these periods is structure and habit. When your actions are part of your routine, they require less effort and less decision-making. Another useful strategy is setting realistic and measurable goals. Instead of vague targets like eat healthier, focus on specific actions such as eat oats 5 days a week or walk 30 minutes daily. These goals are easier to track and provide a sense of progress as you achieve them. Support systems can make a big difference as well. Sharing your goals with family or friends, or even involving them in your routine, can create accountability and encouragement. When the people around you understand your priorities, it becomes easier to maintain your habits. Over time, these consistent efforts begin to compound. The improvements may seem small at first, but they build on each other. A slight reduction in LDL, combined with better HDL levels, lower triglycerides, improved weight, and reduced inflammation, creates a powerful overall effect on your cardiovascular risk. It is also important to celebrate progress, even if it is gradual. Recognizing improvements in your habits, your energy levels, or your lab results helps reinforce your commitment and keeps you moving forward. At the end of the day, your health is shaped by what you do repeatedly. Every meal, every step, every choice adds up. You do not need to be perfect, but you do need to be consistent. And when you are, your body responds in ways that are both measurable and meaningful. So as you continue this journey, keep your approach simple, steady, and focused. Build habits that you can maintain, stay informed, and keep adjusting as needed. Over time, these actions will not only improve your cholesterol levels, but also strengthen your overall health in a way that lasts for years to come.